recording. So yeah, here we are, part 3 of the makeup session on the Maui Food Bank fundraiser, of which we eclipsed. We almost got $2,800 last Saturday, and that was just, I was going to max out at 500, thinking I didn't know who would come or whatever, but I also got some very extraordinarily generous and repeat donations too by our little community, you know, and that's what's pretty insane about this. I try not to think about the numbers and stuff, and I know I'm an old guy on Twitch, and I see other people's Twitches, and they have hundreds, if not thousands, of people watching live and their thing, and I'm like, well, you know what? I like my little hui, my little corner. You know, in Hawaii we have, we call it hui, a club, a little gang. You know, so I like the little hui. It's a lot like a what we call a garage green bottle session, which means everybody's in the garage kicking back with the ukuleles and their, you know, Heinekens and stuff, and it's a small clutch of people who are very interested in something specific. At least here in Hawaii, that would be pupus and cerveza. I just crossed cultures there. But here on this Twitch session and the small group that we have here, I'm so blessed and stoked, and I'm still, even my daughters, when they saw how much you and I both raised for the Maui Food Bank, considering, you know, I don't have a very large, robust audience, they were flattered. And my daughter goes, "You must have a very mature audience." I guess that means the kids have a harder time with money to may not donate enough. I don't know. But I'm just blessed and humble to have all of you here. So let's do a little catch up. Let me see if I have anything here that's straying. With my, we're kind of mature. No. But you know what I'm talking about. I think you know what I'm talking about. I mean, look, I'm in my 60s, right? And the child in me survives and lives. So I'm pretty immature a lot. As a matter of fact, I still get called out for being immature on so many different levels. But so we're going to start on our list now. So I want to thank all of you. If anybody did come here today thinking I was going to do brand new, you know, reactions or donation reactions, I got to put that on the back seat so I can get through this list. I don't know if I can even get through the whole list today. I still have 23, I think, left. So I'm just going to go until 12 o'clock, and I got to punch it. So let's start with, excuse me. This is from Lacrimosa. Thank you so much for your $20 donation, as well as hanging out here on the stream like you do. It means a lot to the Maui Food Bank, to people out in Maui, in Lahaina and stuff. So I really appreciate your donation. So it looks like the song that we're doing by Lacrimosa, the donation suggestion is Demi Lovato. Demi Lovato. Oh, I know who she is. My grandkids listen to her. All right, Demi Lovato, and the name of, oh, this is definitely going to get a DCMA strike so on my stream. But once again, I want to thank you so much for your donation for the Maui Food Bank, and let's do this. Yeah, I'm going to see if I can't go a little faster than that, Sefaria. So here we go. This is Demi Lovato. Met him last night. Let me adjust the volume because I turned it down. And let's do this. All right.
Late at night, I'm sipping as you pass me by. Red or white, you pour another, say it's fine. I don't believe in you. Don't believe, 'cause I know just how you do. Seen it right through. I seen the devil, yeah, I met him last night. Had conversation, yeah, I think he's alright.
That dark mystic organ really does a lot here.
Yeah. I seen the devil, yeah, I met him last night. One conversation, now he's spending my night. I think I love him, though I know it ain't right. You got me fucked up, I won't let this happen again.
God, I love that.
This the last time you won't take advantage of me.
Okay, so I'm obviously aware of who she is as an artist. She's extremely ginormous, but never really spent any time listening to the music unless I was cruising through my daughters or my grandkids where they were at. But as far as a piece of work here, I love the thick, rich opening little sequence of that kind of anodigi kind of thick and beefy. She has a tremendous voice, so there's nothing much more that I could probably put into the fact that it's, having a voice like hers and be able to perform like she does. That's just a glorious thing. As a producer, I can imagine, oh my God, what can I do with this talent? And the background vocals in today's pop culture music is so insanely produced so well, but it's almost like a standard. It's almost like that is a standard you have to hit in order to be in that genre for many, many years, but more so in the 2000s forward. The second part of her verse, I love when they pull off or they back out of that really thick, rich sequence that they opened up with, and then all of a sudden it glasses out with this organ in the background. So a little bit of the darkness was taken away. And I like the little spritzes of little violin lines that are going in the back, but the changing of the production going into the hook from that sequence beefiness into this kind of glidey, mystic, dark kind of vibe by using not an organ sound, an ambient organ sound, to me was like really super flex. And also, or a super flex by the producers. And also just now when the kick and everything came in, that kind of double step, is it called double step or a two step? Something like that. But that bottom end, if you're one of those people that have one of those giant sick woofers in your car that rattles your doorknobs off, I can imagine that just must kick it off the hook. Beautiful head voice.
I seen the devil, yeah, I met him last night. Had conversation, yeah, I think he's alright. Seemed kind of funny, yeah, he kind of my type. Yeah. I seen the devil, yeah, I met him last night. One conversation, now he's living my night. I think I love him, though I know it ain't right. How can I ever believe him? The one that could be so deceiving. Boy, you were my only
God, that sub bass.
Let me know how such I'm leaving. Boy, you just gave me a reason. Oh, I never thought I'd be the one.
Love this too.
Thought I'd be the one to fall.
That little ostinato there with the strings.
So I promise tonight is the last call. I don't believe in you. Disguise what I see right through. Seen it right through. I seen the devil, yeah, I met him last night. Conversation, yeah, I think he's alright. Seemed kind of funny, yeah, he kind of my type. I seen the devil, yeah, I met him last night. One conversation, now he's living my life. I think I love him, though I know it ain't right.
Wow. Lacrimos, this was a really, this was a great suggestion for me because I just got asked to help somebody produce a track kind of similar to this. They sent me the demo and I was like, don't know what I could pull off on this. But one of the things that I loved about this track, and because it's kind of that style is fresh in my head because of that track that was sent to me the other day, and I thought about, what would I do that I'm good at doing? Well, that sounded arrogant, didn't it? That I enjoy doing. And how would I add strings and stuff? And I go, this is perfect. Meaning I'm not going to do that. But after listening to this, I love the integration of the strings, the little ostinato that you heard back there, just lightly in the back. Now I just realized that this is Demi Lovato with Ariana Grande, and I, in my mind, I think I recall what she looks like. I think she's also kind of a funny artist too. I mean, she's goes on talk shows and does some imitations, I think. Nonetheless, one thing I want to mention about this that I've enjoyed watching or listening happen in my 60 years plus of living through the music industry is all of the fancy riffing that goes on with what is now another standard to hit if you want to be in this circle of artists. It's incredible now, you know, how many great, fantastic artists there are out there, be it known, unknown, that can do so many great things with their voice. But I have to reach back into the days where I first heard real super sick riff work, which was early gospel. Whitney Houston-ish, way back days, you know, 70s gospel and stuff, when in that genre, the vocals would really step out and have these long-lasting jazz riffs at the ends of their, you know, I can't freaking do it. My brother's really good at that stuff. And now it's just hit such an incredible level that I think we're at a point now, perhaps, I don't know, since I don't listen to pop music, I guess this was released 2 years ago, that you really have to do a big lean on production again, because there's a lot of this now. There is uniqueness in each one of these artists and their abilities to do it, but now there's a lot of people that are doing this particular style. Vocalists, and we hear it every day, because now when something becomes huge and influential, like that style of singing, then you have everybody, you know, a little 6-year-old that now can do it, and an 8-year-old, and you know, male, female, all different styles, because that is the core influence. So there's a part of me that's waiting to hear what's next. Kind of understand what I'm saying? I kind of like what's next? How far can we push this, you know, with the pop thing and the incredible vocal talents that these two artists have? I'm kind of going, what's next? And at this point, for me, is at least the expression and the production, even though this is a couple of years old, to me, I was like, as a composer and, for lack of a better word, at times a producer, I was like, oh, I like what they're doing there. They're infusing A, B, C, and D, and okay, that's really slick. So I really dug that. That was great, man. That was a super suggestion. You know, La Cremosa. Thank you so much for the suggestion. I would have probably never, you know, drifted past this, but I think I might clip this one off of the stream today and maybe release it on my RPGs channel, because I don't think I've done a track like this on that. Anyhow, thank you so much for that, and I hope I wasn't too over blah 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 with my thoughts on that, but thank you so much. Okay, is 1 a.m. here or is Turnip here? Somebody just colored in my my sheet. I don't know which one is handling that, but thank you. If it's 1 a.m. or if it's Turnip. Once again, I just list really quick for the few of you that are hanging out here. 1 a.m. did? Okay, thank you. Really quick, before we continue on, I just want everybody to throw, you know, an emoji thank you to, once again, Turnip and 1 a.m. Bus and I'm a Sneak, of which all of this would not have come together the way it did. They were watching my back the whole time during the stream, still watching my back here and making sure that things are, you know, running smoothly. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. Really, really appreciate it. Wouldn't be able to pull this off without you guys, all three of you. So, yay. Yes, salute. I salute you guys. All right. Next is Aof Lowry. Are you here by chance? And if you're not, don't worry. I got you covered here. We are going to do a song that is by, let's see, the request here. I'm going to copy link address and go over here. And let's put it in here and see what we got. That doesn't blow up. All right. Whoops. I guess I shouldn't do that. Hey, what just happened? Nope, that's not it. Oh, such a failed producer I am. Ifa. Oh, okay. Well, I don't think they're here. So I want to thank you, though. Ufa Lowry, for your $20 donation for the Maui Food Bank. And you and with everybody else really made a big impact on that final total that we have up here, almost at $2,800. So this song is for you. It sounds like it's gonna be metal though, because there's something. Is this a My Chemical Romance? Oh my gosh, I've had a lot of people banging me about this. As a matter of fact, on Patreon, I have a little list of My Chemical Romance, so it looks like this is perfect timing. So let's do that. Once again, I want to thank you so much for that donation for the Maui Food Bank. This is My Chemical Romance, 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge. Thank you for the Venom. All right. Definitely the AFI influence. Also, like I say, and I don't know, it's because of my very small listening scope of music of this nature. That once again, and I don't know why sometimes every now and then I drift over to the Green Day thing. He definitely does. This guy's got some sick vocals. I mean, like I feel every word that he's saying. He is so freaking committed to his vocals and everything that just jumps off to me. I think I say Green Day because that's probably one of the only super giant bands that have this style of faster playing. Now, I don't know the difference really. There's certain types of punk music, and I believe this is punk, but there's also other little subgenres, which doesn't surprise me like that in metal. But I think when it has like more of a melodic hook, it maybe pushes into another level of punk. I'm not too sure. The other thing is I love the opening and stuff. One of the things I love about listening to punk or this style of music, it's like a band in my face. The power in the band in my face. There's no trick, slick, and at times what I've heard a bit too much of, overproduced post work on this. Band in studio, mic drums, mic amp, go. I'm sure they're doing some compression and some, sound management, but it's not this overly produced, side chain kind of stuff that seems to be becoming a little bit of a norm in certain types of metal and rock and stuff. But let's go. Who's gonna save me? I keep a gun in the book you gave me. Hallelujah, lock and load. Black is the kiss, the touch of the serpent's son. It ain't the mark of the scar that makes you run and run and run. You'll never make me leave. I wear this on my sleeve. Give me a reason to believe. So give me all your poison and give me all your pills. I really like the harmonies that's going on in the back. Okay, I'll go back to that so we can get back into what's going to be, probably a ginormous ending. That's another thing that I'm not too sure about, and I got to lean on you guys to help me educate me with this. Is if I recall, there are no solos in punk, or is that, I don't know, is that something that just snuck into my brain or something, or maybe because I think that punk is such a gnarly, grinding, powerful genre that they're shorter songs and stuff, and they don't hang long for turnarounds and stuff. Speaking of which, the chord changes in that before the solo hit, where the guitar player was doing a little bit more of just a melodic arrangement before the solo section. Nice trippy chord changes too, super. I really dug that. Wasn't expecting it, I think, because in my mind I'm pre-sold on something, obviously. But anyhow, let me go back a little bit here, give this guy some time to get in. I like that weird little harmony when it clicks out. Give me your better consolate. Just give me what I need. Give me your reason to believe. So give me all your poison, and give me all your pills, and give me all your hopeless hearts and make me ill. You're running after something that you'll never kill. If this is what you want, then fire at will. So give me all your poison, and give me all your pills, and give me all your hopeless hearts and make me ill. You're running after something that you'll never kill. If this is what you want, then fire at will. I'm going to go back, and I want you and I to go through this really quick, just on how well composed that the hook was in stacking these multiple kind of answer back melodies, these counterpoint melodies. There was a guitar part that was doing some kind of a resolve, like from a fourth resolving. You had the you had I outside of his vocals, there were about 3 other arrangements in there that in of itself could have lived on as a hook. So this was like a trolling hook, not trolling like we do on the internet. I'm talking about trolling like in a boat, multiple hooks. And I got to clarify that. Let's listen to that again. I thought that was super badass. You're running after something that you'll never kill. If this is what you want, then fire at will. So give me all your poison, and give me all your pills. Another addition there. Give me all your hopeless hearts and make me ill. You're running after something that you'll never kill. If this is what you want, then fire at will. Well, musically, these guys also just freaking slayed, without a doubt. This was a badass song. I don't necessarily jam to. And once again, I don't necessarily have a clarification in my mind that this is punk, or if it's a punk influenced with other things, subgenre. But whoever produced and arranged this track really, really put a lot of really sick energy in making sure that there were some palatable dynamics, be it stop, start, change the guitar tone to a clean thing while it got quieter and he sang, and then get us into kind of this weird pseudo pre-solo setup. I mean, there was a lot of little movements that were happening in it, but that hook at the end, what's sticking with me is the da, 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 and that's what the thing is. We will vacillate to whatever we want to, and when we listen to a song, what's the hook? What's the thing that you remember about the song? Sometimes it is the hook that's constructed, to bring up, and it hits you 3 times in a 4-minute period or something. Sometimes it's just a drum beat. Sometimes it could be something the drummer's doing in cymbals. Sometimes it could be the bass line inadvertently, where the producer and everybody thinks, hey, this was a great hook. Man, we're going to put a lot of energy. And all of a sudden, the most memorable thing of a song might be the bass line or a couple of riffs or weird things that they do. So even though songwriters, record companies, A&R, I don't even know if they got A&R anymore. When they think of songwriting, they want to manufacture that hook and know what that means in pop song construction. sometimes you just can't, you just go, I would have had no idea that everybody's like chiming in on this, so anyhow, that was great. I went long-winded on that one, but My Chemical Romance, what was this? Thank You for the Venom. Definitely warranted it for me. Warranted it. Frig. Hang on, big hair day. Big hair day. Ah. All right, onwards. Let's see, who do we got next? Vex. Vex, are you here with me? If you're not, I have, this looks like this is another one. Vex, there you are. Yo, sup. Oh, by the way, hi, Doc Doom. How you doing? I don't think I've said aloha to you. Let me see here. Okay, I've got to copy paste this. Copy. Vex, I want to thank you so much for your $20 donation here. And your song is Fantomas. Investigation of a citizen above suspicion. Is that the correct one? Let me know if it's the first one that you want me to check out. Coffee. I love my coffee. Let me see. Hit the second one. Okay. Hey, Edot. How are you? Welcome back. And for those of you, once again, there's like almost 60 of you here on Saturday. I know that a lot of you guys are in the middle of your Saturday, and the fact that you're hanging out with me, super cool beans. Oh, Fantomas. Hey, you want this guy right here with the big hair? I don't know what his name is. I know he's very famous and stuff, but my brother, I think I mentioned to you on a stream, my brother, he's a very, very successful professional golf instructor at a place called Studio City Golf Range. And this guy, I don't know what his name is. What is his name? He's from the Melvins. Yeah. Mike Patton. Mike Patton's an avid golfer, and he's out there, back in the day, I don't know where he has been, I haven't been in Los Angeles now for almost 20 years, but back in the day, he used to come and play all the time and hang out with, and I had no idea who he was. I always said to my brother, "Who's that guy? He's got big hair." And he goes, "Oh, he's a guitar player." I went, "Okay." My brother, like I said before, and then we'll get on with this song really quick, just quick story time. As a composer, my life has been locked up in a studio, right? We get hired to do jobs, and then we lock ourselves up in our recording studios and we write music. If you're in the music business, a lot different. I mean, record business, a lot different. So I don't know anybody. I don't get the opportunity to meet anybody, and I'm not a bigwig. I never went to parties and stuff like that. I wasn't a shaker or mover. I wrote my music. I went surfing, got baked back in the day, and did my thing. But my brother has met these ginormous stars, and so I've met all these ginormous people through my brother, be it studio heads from Paramount or Sony or whatever, actors, actresses, voiceover artists, heavy metal stars, pop stars, just unbelievable. It's through my brother. So it's been kind of fun. He's got some great pictures with him and Eddie Van Halen and Tommy Lee, just being stupid on golf courses and stuff. He's my hero. My brother's my hero. And, he's pulled through a lot of heavy shit, rehab twice for some pretty gnarly substance. And I think most of you just knew that I said during the last stream that he was just unfortunately diagnosed with emphysema, and they had to remove half his lung last week. So speedy recovery to my brother, but he is my hero. So that's all I have to say about that. I felt like it's an appropriate saying, that Forrest Gump, that's all I have to say about that. So anyhow, sorry, I don't know how I drifted to that, but I did. So let's do this. Sorry. Here we go. Oh, first time in the chat. Hi, Sparky. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that, man. You coming out and even leaving a comment here on Twitch and stuff. So I hope you enjoy the journey. So let's do this. Let me make, now I've got to refresh my brain cells on for whom it is that I'm doing this. I am doing this next track for Vex. So Vex, thank you so much for your $20 donation, and let's do this. This is Investigation of a Citizen Above Suspicion. All right. Why am I getting Primus vibes? Oh, it is Mike Patton? That caught me off guard. Okay, so Mike Patton, I said also I was thinking Primus, I was thinking less Claypoolish, so I could see what side of the psychedelic, if you know this, Pyramid on the Sugar Cube audience, these guys come from. If you know what that reference is, give me a how's it. But this sounds like, okay, so now that I'm somewhat familiar with the Mike Patton, the Primus Les Claypool kind of style of things, this is definitely a lot more gut punchy with a lot of the sounds that are being used, a little more throaty. This says the director's cut, so is this maybe a theme or a part of a movie that I'm not too familiar with? Because it seems like it would be very dark and macabre, you know, in a very kind of like Adult Swim animated kind of way, something like that. But it is, I mean, at first, I mean, when it started, of course, I didn't know what to think of, and then as it gets back in, all of a sudden, it definitely hit the sparklers, if you would, of the Primus Mike Patton thing, and not knowing until you guys told me. I like how he's messing around with the panning on this. I like the doubling of the bass, the crunchy fuzz, and the cleaner sound as well. Ouch. Man, okay, got you covered, man. That was that last 20 seconds of it got me all. I mean, I think from doing this, started getting all hot and sweaty and shit. I wanted to mention something about that bass that it sounded like. A lot of times, if you're recording, you'll have what's a line in, a direct line, and then another line in probably from a mic from a cabinet. You can actually have multiple lines in from a single signal so that you can actually get a clean sound of the bass. And then if it's an overdriven, head sound, like tube drive of it and stuff. So that way you can mix with layering and stuff like that. That's what it sounds like they were doing, because I was hearing some clean sound and then, the harder, darker heaviness of it. But the actual track itself was extremely chaotic, but it's dark and trippy, which I think, isn't that what Patton's all about? In a very kind of circus. I whenever I think of Primus or Patton, though I know Patton's been in other projects that have nothing to do with this kind of production, but when I hear this style of stuff, I just think of late night at a circus, and the guys out there calling you into, come and see this over here, people. Okay, wait till you get your money together. Whoa. Very, very entertaining in that capacity. So, stand by. I gotta shift myself a little here. All right. So, yeah, that was, nice conversation going on out here, too. If I haven't said hi to you, hi, Analog Web, how are you? Who else? Umber March, I didn't say hi to you, I don't think, yet. How's it? And Chili Williams, how you doing? Yeah, I know, Mike got me all to spit up my coffee, that little section there. And so I just wanted to shout out and say, how's it? So let's do this. Next step up is going to be... So anyhow, Vex, thank you so much for that suggestion, without a doubt. That was very entertaining. And for that $20 donation. Okay, from Gummy Bear Chewy. Are we talking regular gummy bears, sweet and sour gummy bears with a little oomph? A little oomph, a la. Let's just see what we got here now. This is called, let's cover your cover. I would love to see you cover. Okay. Let me see what this is here. I'm not too sure what this is. Let me see if it shows up and how it may show up. And no, I don't know if this is it. Your turn to roll. Critical Role theme. Let me read you guys. First of all, I'm sorry. I don't think give me a second here. Gummy Bear Chewy, are you here? Oh, there you are. Hi. I'm sorry. I acknowledge you. There you are. How's it? All right. So then I did go to the right one. So which one is it you want me to do? The third one? It said in your little notes. If I looked it up right, is that the one that you would like would be the third one? Yes, that's the one? Okay. All right, fantastic. Okay, so I want to thank you so much for your $20 donation for the Maui Food Bank fundraiser last week. And thank you for hanging out here. I know some of you just come back. Oh, maybe this is the week you'll do my song. Still yet. Whether you're here just cruising it because you're cruising it because you got the time. Let me ask this quick question. How many of you are watching this on a cell phone? This ought to be interesting. Give me a second here. How many of you are watching this on a cell phone? Huh? It could be like a thumbs up emoji or whatever, or a salute. I don't know. Jack Zaria's on the computer. I was just curious because I know that, I mean, it's a Saturday, so in my mind, I'm thinking that people could be possibly watching on the cell phone while they're maybe at the beach or at the park or something. I don't know, outdoors, just kind of chilling, and watching the stream. I don't know. I just, my imagination goes, yeah, I wonder where people are currently barbecuing. So love that. That is great. That is hilarious. Laptop, not on a phone, but heavily distracted. Of course. 1 a.m. If you're here with me on the stream, I can understand. So, oh, that's funny, Kairu. What do you mean most of us don't get to go outside? What even is this outside you speak of? Oh, shoot. I know, right? The cultures, I think the culture shift post-COVID, and also the craziness of the world, I don't blame you for holding up, actually. If that's what's happening. For myself, I will say, post-COVID, and also where the world is at today, I so am an inside guy. I am. Even though I live in one of the most beautiful places in the world and I have access to a beach, and the whole thing, I even go to the beach by myself, unless I'm going to the other side of the islands and I have my family and my grandkids and there's beaches out there. I'm kind of that guy too. Like I could actually do 2 or 3 days of never leaving my place and even putting my feet in the sand just because I'm doing things, So I don't know. I can only speak for myself. I'm not saying that that's the culture, but that's just what it feels like. All right. Let's do this. I want to thank you once again for your donation, Gummy Bear Chewy, and this is for you. All right.
The adventure begins. They were always beside you, your nerdy best friends, and the DM to guide you. And they rise from the flames for the battles ahead. Villains beware, 'cause you're about to be dead. They got magic and flair.
What a trip. This definitely has like a Nordic Viking, like, that kind of a thing. And it definitely has that call to action of like, we're going to paddle across and we're doing this and we're doing that and we're going to kick some ass. And I love that whole thing. Now we just got into that little, move it forward arpeggiation. But even the starting of it, that boom, just in my mind being, I don't know what this is. This definitely has that call to action, like I just, that thing.
They got falchions and cunning. They don't see over there. There's a monster incoming. Inspiration is waiting. Rise up, don't think twice. Put your fate in your hands. Take a chance, roll the dice. Can you answer the call? Digging deep in your soul as the legend unfolds. Now it's your turn.
Ooh, good production on here. That was huge production on there. Really good thick layering here. It says here on the video title, which you can't see on this, is that Laura Bailey, Ashley Johnson, and Sam Riegel. So I don't know if this was a cover. I think you said it was a cover, right? Gummy Bear Chewy. But it was huge. I loved it. And there was, like I said, there was some pretty rich production going on, especially in this section right here. I really like this. Now we're going to build into it.
Can you answer the call? Digging deep in your soul.
Now they give us, a drum beat to hang our head onto. Yeah, I really dug the fact that they had that whole thing. They had me sold on a room, and you start to build in. There's some really nice little synth arrangements happening in the back. But in this point is where they threw in a kit, a drum, to take us all the way out, but finally get us into this whole, thing. But Oh, it's an original theme song. Okay. What is D&D? Is that Dungeon and Dragons? Is that where it came from? I thought Dungeon and Dragons was like a board game or something. No, I did not know that. Frozen Rodent. Hey, hang on for a second. I gotta read it. Frozen Rodent. If you hear on the stream, guys, take a look at what he posted there. In the Swedish. I did not know that. Oh, that's a trip. Yeah. Hey, I'm just as human as everybody else. I'm always interested in what people say about me, even if I don't understand the language. So I don't know. Maybe we should make it a debut experience. Send me the link. We'll watch it here. I don't even if they roast me. I don't know. I think that'd be funny as long as it's not too long. It's funny when other people talk about you. But yeah, you could. 1 a.m. bus. If Frozen Rodent sends a link here in the chat, can you just let her rip? Because we do have the link thingy hiding. So, oh, the DM. Okay, you'll do it with a DM. Okay, great. That'd be great. You can either do it on my Discord or on my Instagram or on my Twitter, something like that. Oh, that's a trip. Love it. Okay, onwards. But hey, thank you so much, Gummy Bear Chewy. That was really, really super cool track to listen to. And oh no, I just wait. I asked a question, and you probably answered it while I was just laughing, talking about that. Oh, Dungeon and Dragons. Okay, it's so much more than a board game, though. No, I understand that. Yeah, it's a lifestyle. My goodness, I think the Dungeon and Dragons I can remember was already out in my teens, I believe, in the early '80s, or no, late '70s, early '80s. Somewhere is out in that area, in my late teens. So I guess it's developed now. I just remember, paper and pencil or looking, I don't know what it's turned into, if it's actually a video game or something you do online now. So, okay. Hey, I got an itch. Son of an itch. Okay. Who is next? Sephiria. I know you're here. Sephiria. How you doing? You're back again, and I can't thank you enough, and your total dedication to everything that we do on this channel, especially the fundraiser. Here's a $20 donation. So let's see what we got here. Oh, it's still a tabletop game. Okay, gotcha. So what are we doing here? World Without Logos from Hellsing. Okay. Wait, what? World Without Logos from Hellsing. Okay. Okay, there's the cover. I can see the cover. And I'm thinking Sephiria. Oh, the first one? Thank you. You guys know me already when I type it in. You guys are so fast that by the time I go, which one do I do? Hello. Hi. Which one? You guys are already on it on the comments. Makes me look Bobo. I am Bobo, so. It's an anime beat ultimate. Yeah, if you want to do that Frozen Rodent on Instagram, that would be great. Key of Jeeves on Instagram, if you follow that one. By the way, guys, did you see that video I put up on Instagram, on my Instagram? I went out yesterday with my Insta360. Oh, no. I popped it up also on my Decomposer Lounge. And if you guys are on Discord, you probably saw it. Where I was going to do a video for Instagram. I had my Insta360 out at my friend's house. And I was going to do a call to action that I uploaded a track. And I was walking and I was kind of feeling stupid. Remember, yesterday was kind of a day for me. And I'm walking and I kicked my heel. I tripped over my heel and ate shit right in the water, the camera, everything. Thank God it's a waterproof camera, but I thought that was funny because I'm funny that way. Let's see. Did I see your instructions? extra credit if you tell us what you hear, since there are no wrong answers. Oh, okay. There's homework in this? I didn't know there was homework. All right. Here we go. Super throaty production. I love the opening bluesy, pop bluesy chord changes that, or the piano that's being played, kind of an upright piano sound, slightly stereo. But as soon as the vocals come in, it all kind of packs all in, because it's almost kind of a mono signal. I can't really understand the lyrics, not because whether or not it's written in a language to be understood. It just seems to be shoved a little down in the mix, where it even even the syllables are a little slightly discernible, less than discernible for me, and it could be just my old man thing. But I like that it's a very dusty, dirty, squeeze-boxy blues kind of production. You know, the chords and the hook were kind of like, that caught me off guard. That got a little kind of fluffy and fun, but yeah. Tricky section. This is kind of like a bluesy noir, N-O-I-R, noir kind of vibe that they purposely are hitting on this. Now, of course, here's the other thing. This was uploaded 15 years ago, and the compression rate on YouTube was completely different and disastrous sounding. So it definitely sounds like it's a low-res MP3, which adds, you know, artifacts and stuff on the top and little dropouts and stuff. But I actually kind of like it the way it's coming across to me. But that one of the things too, remember I was talking about the piano, and then it comes into a mono and it kind of groups up. I love the production decision that once it almost sounds like it is a distorted guitar, but it sounds like it's a guitar run through a piece of outboard gear that's going straight into the recording. That might be a little more of an old school outboard gear than, let's say, like a GPX3 or something from Roland or something back in the day. That's the vibe, that's the essence that I get from that, instead of, like, let's say, one of the more world-class plugins, Amplitude or DSP or anything like that. But I like that crunchiness of it, that I've said this before, it's got that brown heaviness to it, you know, and the vocals being packed in there, I can't quite understand, but I like the fact that he's keeping it in this little zone too. The melody's in this little zone while the creativity is happening around in the arrangement. y'all saying it just happened there? Oh, I love this part. Trippy. Yeah, baseline. Trippy. Yeah, you know, like I said, anteater eating giants. Yeah, I agree with you. It's like I said when I opened it up and I'm listening to it. It's got that, you know, that rusty sounding, old school, like playing it on like a elementary school. Now, for those of you who are old enough, but like an elementary school turntable with a heavier stylus, you know, needle arm and stylus and stuff like that. That really pulls out a little bit of more of that old school vinyl kind of vibe to it. Now, of course, the beginning of it, I think, without a doubt, could have been it was an added vinyl vibe. But I'm talking about the overall mix, the overall sound was like that, coming out of like one speaker kind of vibe kind of thing. But yeah, this was fun. This was a really fun listen. For myself, I'm just going to lean back in on the whole dynamic of the track being dark and heavy, kind of that brown vibe. And I guess this is, so you guys are saying this is some kind of a vampire song or something like that. So, and kind of, or something, I'm looking at the artwork or something, so it totally fits the artwork, which I think it's a trip. So, I'm sorry, is Raid a game or was it an anime? I did not ask that. Something like that. All right, next up. Oh my God, why am I humming Wild Wild West? Where in the hell am I getting that from? Jesus Christ. Oh, shit. Modern day Dracula. Okay, gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. Okay, what do I got here for you? All right, next up is Crossface Buffalo Wing. Are you here? Hey, Square Meal, how are you? There you are. Well, thank you for hanging out on that stream. Well, you're always here. You're one of the usual suspects here on the stream. And I want to thank you so much for coming back today. I know you're probably waiting for your... I think I've done one of yours already in the past, did I? No, this is the first one from the food bank fundraiser. So thank you so much for your donation for that. And the track that we're doing for you is, let's see what this looks like. Fight the Good Fight. Triumph Allied Forces. Is this, oh, wow. All right. This is, we're going to get into, okay. Ooh, I'm going to have to sit down for this one. I think we're getting ourselves into some classic metal here. So is that it? First one. All right. So, Crossface Buffalo Wing, while I listen to this, is this the band Triumph? And it's Allied Forces, I think. Yeah. It probably is, but because I'm not aware, I recognize the name, but I know that there was a band called Triumph. And this goes all the way back to, this is copyrighted in 1981, guys. So this is some nostalgic rock metal. I'd say it was probably more metal from what I've heard people talk about. All right, here we go. This is for Crossface Buffalo Wing. Thank you so much once again for your donation for the Maui Food Bank Fundraiser. And we're doing this. All right. Fight the good fight. Triumph. Wow. I was not expecting a start like this. Wow.
Feels like we're running out of time. Every day it seems much harder to tell it right from wrong. You've got to read between the lines. Don't get discouraged. Don't be afraid. Because
Love the bass.
make it through another day.
Oh.
Make it worth the price we pay. The good book says it's better to give than to receive. I do my best to do my part. Nothing in my pockets, I got nothing up my sleeve. I keep my magic in my heart. Keep up your spirit.
Okay, as ignorant as I am about this the band, because I've heard of the band, and you saw me when it kicked into that. I was like, I did hear this. I recognize that. Now, I didn't really spend a lot of time in that part of my life, listening to music outside of what I was doing, because I hadn't quite been I hadn't quite bit into the music industry as an engineer, composer, musician until maybe 4-ish. So I was just drifting the world, surfing, getting baked, doing my thing. I love this, and is it fair to say that this was one of those bands that were kind of in the same field as Yes? Definitely has a lot of Yes. There's other influences in there that I'm sensing and stuff. But what I think is fantastic about this track is the hookiness of the it's simple, but it's not. To me, that is a rhythmical hook. You know, of course, with the arrangement and what they're playing, that just pulls me right in. Of course, I'm nostalgic for the drums and the engineering on that because I can, like, those were the days that, you know, I was learning to engineer and getting, you know, drum sounds very similar to that. The guy's voice is very much up there with a lot of the higher range vocals. The Geddy Lee, what was the guy's name from Yes? Is it Squire? I'm sorry, the lead singer. I brain fart. But I like it. This is really proggy rock stuff, and I'm really super digging this.
Keep up your faith, baby.
And I love the bass.
You know what you got to do. Fight the good fight, everybody. Every minute, every day.
That synth note in the back, holding it down in the back.
Fight the good fight, everybody.
Octave higher.
It's your only way.
Oh,
All
the
your
bass.
life you've been waiting for your chance. Where you fit into the band. Try to master
Very rootsy 70s metal rock there. Who is this bass player? Voice, Jesus. You know, the one thing for me that really sets this aside from, like, in my small, you know, soundtrack of like just life discography of this era, and of course I said earlier, this is very kind of Yes, you know, it sounds, you know, like Yes. What steps this up for me and makes it different from Yes, though it's very prog in the same style as Yes and other bands of that nature, is the fact that the engineering and the more powerful use of the guitars and the tones in the guitars and the performance is a little more ballsier. I know that Yes has, you know, had tendency to be very well produced, but they really were very fine detailed, you know, in their post and in their sounds and side chaining, you know, in recording and your mixing and stuff like that. These guys seem to leave a lot of power and rootsy 70s ballsy sounds to their drum engineering and the crunch, the darker chords that are happening here, you know. But there's these two riffs in there that keep cycling back that are so powerful, man. This song's not gonna get out of my head easily.
Make it worth the price we pay.
Is that raining note from the top? Again. Oh my goodness, a fade. I can't remember the last time I heard a fade. Ah, the days of the fade. I used to, you know, as an engineer back in the 80s, you know, there was no automation on our console, or the consoles I started on, which was a Harrison. You know, the fade is, you did by the hand right down by the master, so you had to have, you know, you had to have that thing, you know, going, because you were mixing down live, you know, analog 24 track onto a 2-track for mastering. You know, that would be sent to mastering stuff. So everything was just manual stuff. I fondly recall those days. Anyhow, one of the things you heard me twice say, hey, you hear that note that's hanging out on top? That's kind of a thing that producers will use in hooks to define what I call the zip line moment in a track, where there could be all these chord changes, but somewhere in the arrangement, it could be a string, it could be a held out muted note, or a repetitive muted note, or anything. But there's a common note in these chord changes, and they choose that and then let it ring out and ride. And in this case, it sounded like they used a synth for that. And and just for me, I love that as a producer, as a composer, and I listen to that. It's like, yes, that's very, very hook-ish oriented. Also, I want to go back really quick to the guitar solo in this. It goes back to what I was saying with the guitars and the sounds in of itself with this track is very rootsy, ballsy, rock guitar work, a la 70s, which isn't too far from 1981 this was released. We're only talking a few years earlier than that. It wasn't like they had to reach all the way back to like, oh my God, they did a solo that sounded like Benny Goodman in 1945. No, but still sticking to the core rock essence. That's what I loved about this. So there was progressive work with melody and the performance and stuff, and some synth sounds and some glidiness, but there was a really serious dose of the core roots 70s metal on this, and that took me on that good ride there. So Crossface Buffaloing, thank you so much for that suggestion, and let's roll forward. And then after this, I got to take a short break, refill my coffee, go to the restroom, and so stand by. All right, Make 33, are you here with me? Let's see what you got here. I think I saw you here earlier. You may have dug out. Not too sure. But Make 33, you wanted me to do frogs, and I'm doing frogs for you. And I don't know if you're still here. Excuse me. If you're not, obviously, I'm recording this to my hard drive, so it'll be saved and going on my archive, Twitch archive channel I'm opening up soon on YouTube. It'll be there. There you are. What's up? I know you probably had it in the background. It's muted. You're doing things. Oh my God, it's my song. You run to it, you unmute, and go, here I am. At least that's what I'm imagining. I don't know. So, yes, Alice in Chains, without a doubt, is... a lot of people really had a difficult time with the grunge era, and at least from across the board, it's like, oh my God, what is grunge doing to metal as we knew it? And then to a lot of people, oh my God, this is such depressing shit. It's just, where's this energy coming from? But for me, for some reason, it really yielded some great tracks with melodies and solid hooks and songwriting that I think in a different type of production maybe started off being so successful because I think the complex pop rock songwriting techniques that we're pushing were not moving the needle anymore into a newer audience and stuff. I guess it's all about timing. I've watched 3 or 4 documentaries on the grunge era and the why and everything, and it just seems to be that was just the era. It was a short window of musicians and artists expressing pain and twisting in the wind and humanity, and this was the music that came of it. Of course, we lost quite a few musicians and singers and artists from the grunge era to drug overdose too, of which it seems like a lot of them were trying to escape from, perhaps, with their music, but unfortunately didn't end up being that way, as we're about to see. So here we go, guys. Make 33. Think you heard this. No, I have heard this, but I would love to sit here and listen to this again with you. Unless you want me to do another one, I can do that. It's your donation. And hang on for a second. Would you like me to try another one from them? I mean, I love this song, so I'll listen to it again. I always can go deeper. If I've heard a song, I like to go a little deeper into my breakdown, so it's totally up to you. Head Creeps? Was that Alice? I've never heard of that. Is that... Oh, I've never heard of this. So this is going to be a brand new listen for me. All right. I guess I'll do, I guess number 1, yeah. It seems like it's probably the higher quality off of their channel. Okay, here we go. Let's do that. Okay, Make 33, thank you so much for your donation. I really, really appreciate it. I know the Maui Food Bank fully appreciates it, and as well as all the people out there that this money will end up helping through the food bank. All right, let's do this. For Make 33 and myself and all of us here, let's listen to Head Creeps by Alice in Chains. All right. Great bass tone.
Slide me to the side again. Slap in the face again. No more time.
This, I don't know what it is. I mean, maybe because I haven't listened to, I've listened to more Alice in Chains Unplugged than I have plugged and stuff, but this sounds more heavy metal. At least in my recollection of what is grunge. I think this particular track is dark, it's heavy in the essence of the energy I'm getting from it, but it reeks more of heavy metal, authentic, darker heavy metal, especially with the way the voice is produced. And there's a couple sections where it sounded like, Lane's voice is roasted and fried. Hang on, I'm going to sneeze. Caught that, so you guys didn't have to hear that. So it's very dark, it's very heavy, it's a very pounding track. Like, I'm even listening to the chugginess of the guitars and stuff, even though they're not doing, more current style muting and stuff like that. It's just all dark and heavy and just and I guess that's what the song's about. Just one more time. See, and some of that guitar work is more darker, deep purple, Black Sabbath 70s vibe. Now I can identify this more with an Alice in Chains vibe. Love the bends. With very Richie Blackmore-ish riffs going there.
Slide me to the side again.
So there's where that's where I identify with the Alice in Chains sounds, is when it comes to how they decide in the production and all that. They produce Lane's vocals in the tracks with very unique harmonies and stuff. And for myself, we're just having this little conversation about, somebody was just saying that Jerry Cantrell was saying this is just more of a heavy metal band than it is a labeled grunge band. But I think this kind of steps into that weird little zone that I've experienced as a new listener to metal, where you can have like, oh my God, there we go. Wow, we're into some darker metal stuff. But the second that the vocalist does something a little different that steps out of it, they rename it. Like I once heard a song and I go, I don't know what this genre is. And somebody says, oh, it's mall metalcore. I was like, mall metalcore? Like I didn't get it. But then the person said it's because it has singing clean, higher harmonies in these certain sections. Now it took it away from being, the gatekeeping style of that genre. And so by virtue of that, there's no two ways about it. This track is all about heavy metal. But then when the vocals do come in the hook, that's where that's where I identify it with the Alice in Chains vibe. And as well as I can see, okay, there was still a little bit of that. If the record company, the A&R person, the producer that was working the project wanted to still keep a little bit of the essence of that grunge element in it, I don't know. I'm rambling, but that's just the way I feel about it. This is a great freaking track, but it is of the darkest ones I've ever heard in the grunge genre. I'm sure there's others out there, but I don't have a lot of knowledge on it. Especially those harmonies. This is dark. I like that. God, that tone on the bass. So freaking good. Something else I want to bring up here is the if you're listening to it in headsets or your earbuds or whatever the case is, the chugginess of it was happening on the left side. It was being doubled on or on the right side, however you're looking at it. It was being doubled over here, but it wasn't muted. So here on this side, it's muted, right? On this side, it was and it was all connected. You know, it was all sustained all the way through, except for the emphasis of the chugs. Obviously, there were a couple of slight overdubs that were. There was that one thing I heard dee, 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 that the guitar was doing and stuff. There was a couple of these little noises and other quick flares of guitar melodic stuff happening in the background to make it a little bit more ambient and stuff. But without a doubt, this was the darkest Alice in Chains I've ever heard in its production. Once again, I say that because I've only made myself aware of a lot of Alice in Chains or a lot of grunge, let's say, in acoustic versions. I know that Pearl Jam and Soundgarden and Nirvana, of course, you know, the harder, darker tones are still a part of it. But this one, for some reason, really pushed heavier into the authentic metal, like I was saying, that authentic metal vibe, Richie Blackmore style riffage going on in there, or a guitar performance kind of a thing. So that was really, really super cool. Anyhow, so yeah, that was, hang on for a second. Make 33, thank you so much for that. Guys, I am going to take a really quick break. I'm going to go to the restroom. By the way, I forgot who was it that said that they plants radionics. It's so funny that you would chime in and say that, because actually the next reaction that I'm going to do on my heavy metal channel, probably tomorrow, is an Animals as Leader song, and I have it here. It's called Red Miso or something. It came across on my Patreon. So if you like Animals as Leaders, I've got Red Miso coming up, I think, for tomorrow. So doot on that. Well, going from hardcore heavy Alice in Chains, soul pulling darkness, I'm going to take a break, but I'm going to bring you, you know me, I'm going to pop myself in for my break, just go to some chill music here for a little bit. And let me see if I can find one I haven't played in a long time off of my channel. And if you're not familiar, if you're first time here on the stream or really checking it out, this channel is my ethereal, ambient, trip hop, you know, mind-numbing kind of thing that I do for myself. Oh, I know what I'll do. I'm gonna, since Halloween's around the corner, I'm gonna pre-spin this little this Halloween bit that I did. Actually, the Halloween thing that I did on this is over an hour and 20 minutes long, because I designed it so that it could be looped on people's TVs if they wanted to, in parties or in stuff like that. So I'm going to take a rest just for about 10 minutes at best. And Farlow, thank you so much for your subscription, man. That's fantabulous. And so I'm going to take about a 10-minute break, and I'll be right back, but I'm going to set you up with this. Stand by. This is, come on, load up. Bad YouTube. What's going on? I lose my signal? Hello? Oh, okay, there we go. Durr. All right, guys, I'm going to leave you with some of this darkness, my weirdness, and my music and stuff. And I'm going to dip out, and here we go. Let's see.